Hello, my lovelies. I am Stephanie of Hidden Illuminations, and I am a modern day mystic and a guide. And I use the tarot to work with folks. And I am not going to talk about the cards today because, as much as I love to talk about the cards, I think that there are some engines underneath the hood um, of the suits that are, running water underneath, feeding nutrients up into the meanings that we see by the artists in the cards. And I ran across it. I think of tarot as the opportunity to have a dangerous idea every time you sit down and connect it. And there are many books or other readers or situational meetings between individual people where a dangerous idea will change my belief system, change belief systems. I like to say every Tuesday because when new information comes in, I have a flexible mind to take that new information in and compare it against everything I've got going on. And this particular book, Queering the Tarot by Cassandra Snow, whose she, her pronouns apparently. There's probably many parts of this book, but one really resonated in my soul, a dangerous idea that she brought forth about how she had a change of belief systems around the suit of pentacles. So, because I think of these recordings as basically me, you know, I get to go home and tell my kid the interesting things that I learned that day. And I think of this as the same thing. I'm just telling my kid the interesting thing that Cassandra Snow said in a book I read that day. And so today's a little bit different. I'm going to just read to you the first paragraph of the chapter that Cassandra wrote. So it's reading hour. Just relax, and there's an opportunity to just examine whether or not this is a belief system that um, changes your heart in any way, because it sure did change mine. Okay, chapter 4 of Queering the Tarot by Cassandra Snow, The Suit of Pentacles. I didn't connect with pentacles for a long time. It felt like the suit was so much about materialism in a way that I didn't believe in, and about family in a heteronormative way that I couldn't relate to. Over time, though, this has become the most patient and reassuring set of cards in the tarot for me. My queer platonic partner and I have carved out an incredibly unconventional home, filled with unicorn masks, witchcraft, and love that no one understands, least of all us. It's still a home that is stable for our non-romantic, for our romantic partners, for the friends that come for game nights, and most importantly, for ourselves. The Pentacles started making a little more sense then, but I still struggled with the materialism that I saw as inherent in them. Then my careers, which I am deeply passionate about, started to take off. It was never about the money, but wow, it feels great to succeed on your own terms. Then I fell into a wonderful group of queer friends where resource building and sharing sit at the core of our connection and love for each other. Somewhere in all of this, the pentacles started standing above the rest of the deck when I needed comfort, love, and reassurance. And when I read that, I thought, if I have a querent or a client in front of me and they are struggling with anything to do with abundance of self, that seeking for abundance of self outside of themselves is going to make them unsatisfied. And this change or reframe of the pentacles for me makes me read the entire suit in a different way. The same as if I would look down at a full run out of the cards and I would mentally kind of calculate how many of these are major arcana and how many of these are choice cards, minor arcana. So it's like if you've got major, if you're swimming in major arcana waters, the winds are blowing a certain way, the water's pulling you a certain way, you are going to adapt and adjust. If it's minor arcana cards, I'm telling my people, you have choice, you have free will, you've got an engine on your boat and you're, not just paddles, but you're able to really power things through because it's choice. And the waters are calm and you can make choices about where you want to go. And I think if I see a lot of pentacles on the board with someone who is saying, I have abundance issues or I feel lack in some way or another, I'm going to feel like, you know what, you are being supported in a way that doesn't look the way other people think it should look. This is a non um, conforming abundance, and we need to reframe and maybe look at it that way. And so Cassandra Snow helped me understand that way better than I had before, and it helped me personally see some of what would be seen as difficult cards, like the Five of Pentacles. I now say these folks, like one of them is wearing a bell around their neck. And it is because he's ringing the bell of shame. I have no money. I am shameful about having no money. But that the light of the church, if they only look up, there is so much a warmth and abundance available to them if they go into the building, if they just look up and see the light and go into the light. In order to have the other one is lame, to have their wounds healed, to have succor. Perhaps we're gonna maybe draw that a different way without the religious aspects for those people or artists who are not looking for that. But it is still look up, see the light. There is light available to you if you can get out of your mindset of just looking down and trudging. And so the Five of Pentacles, while some people would not want to see it, I'd be like, oh, this is a choice card. You can look up. Let's look. And especially if I see a lot more pentacles on the table. All right, reading hour is over. Thank you for letting me share something that was interesting to me and that changed my belief system. And thanks to Cassandra Snow for writing this book and putting it out into the world. Have an amazing day, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.